So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at uh, my opponent's specific reaction. This is another reaction where if they're not allowing me to create the backside position, but I am able to get my foot to a position where I'm able to establish outside ashi. Now, from here, we get to K guard, right? And then from here, I am able to either whip my foot over or from here create this posted foot on the hip from here. But my opponent then forces this angle, which is going to force me to have to take outside ashi at this point. So from here, what we're going to do is control, turn this way. We're going to have to control, once we get to here, we're going to have to control from here where I'm holding the knee. And now from here, this foot is going to be on the outside, right? So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to swim this hand around. I want to take an ankle lock grip. Anytime I go to outside ashi, I have to make sure that I'm taking an ankle lock grip from here. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to looking at creating a good sweep from here. So what I want to do is I want to get my head on the floor. From here, I'm going to pinch my knees together. And what I want to do is keep my knee in line with my opponent's knee. So I want them facing the same direction so that as I go to lift my hips, you see how I'm turning my opponent's knee outward. From here, what we're going to do is bite down by making sure that I'm back heeling here. My feet are crossed, knees in line from here, back of my head's on the floor. I can give a little bit of extra power putting my hand to the floor. And from here, we're going to knock our opponent down. If we're able to knock them down from here, this is the position that we're going to work from. Just going over a couple basic options that we have here. Most of our offensive submission attacks are going to come from when I knock them to a butt. If I can't knock them to their hip or their butt from here, this is not going to be a position where I want to start looking for any kind of heel hook, because that's where I'm going to get my back taken. Reaping on the heel hook can get your back taken, so when we do go into a reap, we're never going to let go of the ankle lock grip. My goal is to force them back down to their hips. So from here, again, this is our first option here, is from here, we're here, and then knocking them down. Okay, our second option is off of that off balance. It can then open up my ability to set up a reap because my opponent has to circle heavy away and give me this angle. This is a reaping angle. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to throw our legs by, crossing our feet, and I'm never at any point going to sell out on this heel hook. Selling out on this heel hook is a bad option from here. This is where I'm going to get my back taken. I have to make sure that I keep my ankle lock control, roll over my head, and again, my goal is to end up here. This is the position that I want to establish. Now, what we're doing is we're looking at this as our options for when we can't force the backside position from K-guard. We're going to force outside ashi. And essentially, my opponent's forcing me to have to take outside ashi. And these are going to be the two options that we're going to look for. First thing is I can't be offensive till I get them down on their hips to their butt. So watch again from the very beginning. Here and here, K-guard. I go to throw my leg over, and they're cutting this angle. Now, turn. As they keep me from being able to create the backside position, forcing their knee forward from here, I hold above the knee so they can't just yank their leg out of there. And then I want to start to wrap around for an ankle lock grip. Now, from here, we're going to cross our feet. Always this one over this one. I'm going to pinch my knees, lift my hips, back of my head on the floor. And first thing, we knock them down. Second option is my off balance will then force them to take this angle. And when they take this angle from here, we're going to throw our legs through. When we throw our legs through, we're going to cross up. And now from here, we're going to make sure that we're following through. And when we follow through, I'll turn all the way this way. I want to end up in outside ashi with my opponent seated on their butt. Now from here, this is where I can start to work for my attacks. Again, I don't want to work for heel hooks or anything when they're standing. When they're on the knee, we have some other options, but when they're standing, I don't want to do that. now just a quick transition here. Once we're in outside ashi here, right? So we established outside ashi position. Now just two options once we get them down to the hips. From here, just two cues to look for is that in order for my opponent to hide the heel, they're going to turn their knee out. They're going to crowd and hide their heel here. Now, when they start hiding their heel here like this, what we're going to do is we're just going to look for a nice ankle lock finish here, where we're going to be looking to expose the heel slightly into the chest like an Aoki lock from here. So what we're going to do is we have to make sure that this is specifically off of my opponent's defense from here, where they're defending, crowding, cutting the angle from here. What we're going to do is now, you see when they do this, they're putting their foot in a perfect position where now I can get slight heel exposure going this way. From here, what we're going to do is, as they start to do that, I'm going to put a hand right here at the knee. From here, I'm keeping my feet locked up. I'm going to hip escape back. I'm going to tuck my elbow, and I'm going to catch that heel right inside my chest. Not too much, just slightly. Now, from here, what I can do is I can create a frame here, and then I'm going to bring knee to knee here. So now by bringing knee to knee, my goal is here, if I can get a foot on the hip, that's great. Sometimes we can't get a foot on the hip. But from here, my goal is to get knee to knee control. So I'm pinching my knees. I have that heel controlled. I'm driving weight into the foot from here by taking my hips slightly off the floor. I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together from here. When I do that, now I'm going to start to bridge through from here, and then I'm able to get a finish. Now with this finish, what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit more braking pressure on this top side of the foot here. But what I'm really looking to force here is I'm looking to force my opponent to then have to bring their knee inside the line here. So when they bring their knee inside the line from here, that's what helps me get to a heel hook grip. So from here, again, they're defending the heel hook. So I need to have some kind of option from here. From here, coming here, and then trying to dig back on a heel from here, this is what's going to get my back taken. So what I need to do is I need to force them to respect this ankle lock grip. From here, they're crowding. I control the knee. From here, I hip escape out slightly, and I pop that heel just slightly into my ribs. All I want it to do is just pop slightly in. Once I feel that heel slightly in front of my ribs from here, now from here, I put the weight down on the foot, but I lift my hips slightly. But as I lift my hips, my foot can create a foot post if I can. That can help me with the lift there. Then my other foot is just crossed over the toes. What's very important here is that I pinch my knees together at the knee. My other hand is controlling behind the calf. I pinch my shoulder blades back, and I look over my bottom shoulder there. And I can get a finish, but what's most likely going to happen here is they're going to start turning their knee inward. Now, when they start turning their knee inward, I can work my way back to the elbow. And now from here, we can start to get a good bite on the heel hook. What I'm looking for on a heel hook here is, again, where the heel exposure is when the knee's inside this imaginary line here. The heel's hidden when the knee's outside of that line. When the knee's inside that line, the heel's exposed. From here, when they start working their foot back to a position to hide from the Aoki, from the ankle lock finish, from here it's just a matter of I'm going to catch, and then once I get a shallow bite, I want to tuck my elbow in tight to my hip. Now from here, I put the weight down on the foot. Now from here, we can cross our feet, and our finish is going to be making sure the knees are in line from here. I'm bridging my hips through, looking over my bottom shoulder from there, and there. This is where we're giving one threat opens up the stronger option for the finish. I would say the outside heel hook is going to be the stronger finish from here as opposed to that ankle lock finish from there from outside ashi. So again, it's just here. Their defense is going to lead me to the heel hook or the ankle lock from here. When they go to hide and they're crowding around the corner from here, I create that exposure here, here and here. I can finish here, pinching those shoulder blades. They go to turn. I work my way right back into the heel hook bite. All I want to do is I want to catch back on that foot, creating a flat foot. My goal is flat foot, and like the pinky toe, I want that caught up in between my upper tricep and lat area there. Now from here, that heel is inside the line right here. So that knee is inside the line where the heel and the hip are in a line here. Straight imaginary line there. Lift my hips there on the finish. Then I drive weight into the foot, closing the knee. And then as we bridge, I'm going to slightly close this knee as we bridge and extend, looking over my bottom shoulder. And this is stuff that I would get into more definitely in full length when just covering a topic like outside ashi, but this is just a nice basic transition that you can work on once you've established the outside ashi, just to give you an option to go right to, as opposed to they're gonna hide like this, as opposed to looking for an ankle lock here, which is definitely gonna get your back taken, looking for a heel hook there, which is definitely gonna get your back taken. So the better option here is the ankle lock, and the ankle lock helps to set up the heel hook there. What we're going to look at is another option from here when my opponent's hiding. So now that heel is hidden again when that knee is pointed out, right? The heel's hidden towards me. So once we've established outside ashi, again, this is just some options that you have from here. Is just, I'm maintaining an ankle lock control. From here, now my opponent's crowding me around the corner, but I'm unable to get to a good control on that ankle lock from there to make them respect the ankle lock, right? So from here, our other option from here is to spin the leg. So what we're going to do is, from here, I want to get into a leg spin. So what I'm going to do is, a basic way to spin the leg is I retract my knee and I keep that ankle lock grip. So the more they crowd me, the easier this is going to be. From here, now I can turn to my knees. Now I'm not going to let go of this ankle lock here as I spin. From here, I'm going to put my weight back in. You see how I go from here, okay? And now from here, I drop my knee to the floor. I'm going to push off this foot, and then I want to start making sure that I'm getting my other knee underneath. I'm keeping the ankle lock grip as long as possible here. Now from here, I can start looking to switch through, and then from here, what I want to make sure that I'm doing is, as I turn to cross ashi, I want to make sure that this knee gets through. Now from here, I want to start to look for second leg control, and I want to sit with double leg control there if I can. So just spinning the leg from outside ashi is just another strong option. If you feel like you're stuck in outside ashi, just spin to cross ashi and then start working from there with double leg control. So here again, my opponent's hiding. If I feel that I can't get the exposure that I need from here, if my hips are too crowded from here, it's going to be hard for me to escape my hips out, right, to get that heel popped in. So from here, we're going to open the legs. I'm going to spin, and I'm going to keep that ankle lock control. And you see how I turn to my knee, pop that other knee through, and I want to start controlling that second leg. Now from here, we're in a good position from here. Cross ashi with double leg control here. Once we establish the double leg control from there, I'm in another pretty good controlling position. As long as I can control the two legs, I'm in a good spot from there to start working. So this is just another option, because this is going to be a very common reaction you're going to get. You get outside ashi, people are crowding around trying to take your back. If you just don't let go of the ankle lock grip, you're in a strong spot. Spinning to the top and then looking for cross ashi just helps you get out of the outside ashi if you don't want to stay there, and then start working from cross ashi position. The next option we're just going to look at is one more option from here. Just the most common reactions. Common reaction here, either they're on their butt, they're on a knee, or they're standing. If they're standing, I want to knock them to their butt or their knee. So if we're here and my opponent starts to come up to a knee, what I want to do right away is I want to start to shallow this leg and keep this leg nice and tight. I'm shallowing this leg because what I don't want is I don't want them coming up and being able to get their lat in front and then start smashing here. So I want to make sure right away I start shallowing this leg. Now from here, when I shallow this leg, I can even use this hand just creating a frame. Now from here, this foot can start to pummel under. And now from here, what I want to start doing is I want to start turning to my inside hip slightly, popping that heel into place. What can help me pop that heel into place is, again, pushing that knee from there. From here, I get my grip. I grab right below the calf at the ankle here. I can even reinforce this with my hands. My foot can go right there on the hip. I pinch my knees together. And now from here, I want to pinch my shoulder blades back. The finish is very similar here. Pinch my shoulder blades back, and I'm going to side crunch. The reason why I want to make sure that I'm pinching this knee in front of this one here is because I have to be able to prevent, my grip is keeping his toes from turning, right? But I have to still prevent that knee from turning inward. So I'm keeping my knee here as best I can to keep his knee from being able to turn in. If he's able to turn his knee in, he's able to hide that heel a little bit. And now from here, I can't get a finish, so it's shoulder blades pinched. And there we take the slack out, pinching the shoulder blades, and then we create a side crunch to create the rotation. And we're getting more of a twisting finish as opposed to just getting a bridging finish from there. Okay, so it's just the second they come up to a knee from here, here, here. Create the space. I'm pushing, exposing that heel, foot, here. Knee to knee, pinch, and bridging there. Now we're going to get into defending a knee cut and establishing a K-guard position. My opponent is going to step into a knee cut position from here. So from here, I'm establishing my reverse delahiva or inside delahiva hook. From here now, if I can, I could pummel my knee in. Once I pummel my knee in from there, I have a good position to where now this foot can travel outside, and then we can start looking to establish a K-guard. But what I want is to actually establish a lasso on this bicep from here. So what we're going to do is I can start off with just framing inside the elbow. That can turn into where I pummel my foot, and now I get this lasso-like grip here, where now if my opponent tries to pull away from here, this is actually pretty strong. So this will keep me nice and controlled and connected here. This foot can then look to travel outside the hip. And now from here, by doing this from here, my opponent's denied an underhook on this side. They can't pull away. And now from here, we can start looking to pull ourselves into a K-guard position. My elbow's back inside from here. Foot can travel across. And now from here, we're in a good position to start working from there. So again, this is just me defending that knee cut position. From here, I can frame. And I want to look to get my hand through. What'll help me with getting my hand through from here is I can initially just frame there. And then from there, it's just my thumb goes outside. So once we get here, thumb post here, foot can make its way outside if that space is there. And now from here, we can start to look to establish our K-guard. The big cue from here is going to be if this space is open here. So if I feel that my foot can make its way outside that hip right away, that'll be a nice cue for me to go here. Now from here, they try to pull away from there, and it's much harder. Now my foot can travel outside, and now I'm in a good position. Now we have a good control of K-guard from there as they're trying to knee cut through. Next option we're going to look at is going to be still from the knee cut position. What we're going to do is if I feel that I don't have the mobility or the flexibility for my foot to go outside the hip once I bicep lasso, from there my other option could be to force my opponent down to their knee. So as they're going to knee cut here, okay, they're in good position from here. If I feel from here that I don't have that ability to get that foot out there, what I want to start to do is I want to start to get this knee to the floor first. What we're going to do is I'm going to take a good collar tie here. When I take this collar tie here, I make it hard for my opponent to advance position, circle away, get away from me here. Now from here, what I want to do is I want to take my other foot. From here, this hand could be controlling at the wrist here. Now I have good control from here. What we want to do from here is I want to pummel my foot here, and I want to start forcing that knee to the floor. When I start forcing that knee to the floor, that'll open up position for now this foot to travel outside. And now from here, this is where I can start looking to establish a good scoop grip from there on the leg, elbow inside the knee. And now from here, we're in a good position to start attacking our K-guard. My goal is from there is to ground them. A lot of the time, whenever I force that inside knee to the floor, that second leg is going to drop to the floor from there. And I'm going to force my opponent down to two knees at that point. So one more time, right from here. We're here and here. I'm here. I'm clearing that grip. I foot post. Now when I foot post, not just kicking it straight, but out on a slight angle from there. Now when they drop to two knees from here, it's a much easier thing now for this foot to make its way outside. From here, now it's concentrating on getting to my scoop grip from here. As I go to my scoop grip on the leg, I could frame that bicep to then help prevent the crossface, bringing my head in elbow inside, and now we're in good position to start working from K-guard to start attacking. We have another option from here, which is a K-guard entry, but what we're going to be doing is establishing a different means of control in transition to K-guard. We're going to be looking for a crab guard position. So, first thing, I got to force my opponent to two knees. So this could be if I'm in a knee shield or if I force them to the knee. So we can force them to the knee the same way, or if they're in the knee shield, on their two knees from here. From here, what I want to be looking to do before I can establish a crab guard here is I want to look to control this hand. So any mean of controlling this arm is important first. Now, from here, we're in a knee shield position. I've controlled this arm. What I want to do is I want to start opening up the ability for me to then get this foot inside. And what we're going to do is establish a crab guard here. Now, I'll switch angles to see, but first things first, we're going to control this arm, and then I want to start to cause this foot to come out so that I can start to get my heel inside. Once I get my heel inside, now I am sacrificing a little bit of my knee shield, but from here, as I go to open this up, this foot comes to here, and then I'm going to cross my feet from here. So now we're actually going to be facing this way. Where you can see now is if they start to try to pressure forward from here, I'm actually in a pretty controlled position from here. And what I want to start doing is I'm controlling this 2-on-1 here, right? From here, I can start using this to set up my K-guard entry. From here, first things first, I want to start to create this angle. Now, once I've created this angle from here, this foot can come out to here, and now I can start looking to get a scoop grip closer to the knee. So let's turn the angle this way, work from this side to see all of the footwork from here. As we're here in the knee shield from here, first things first, I want to try to look to win this hand position here. This foot will open this up. We're here, here, and I'm going to start to turn the angle here. So now from here, it's very hard for them to be able to pressure forward through this. What I want to do is I want to see how this foot's making its way away from me. What I want to start doing is I want to start hunting for that leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking for this ankle here. Now from here, in order for me to switch to a good strong scoop grip here, we're going to switch my hands. And now from here, this can open. And as this can open from here, you see how I'm going to come here? And now I'm here. So now as they try to turn to face me here, now we're able to establish a good K-guard position. And there's lots of other stuff that we can hit off this position, but this is just one of the ways that I start to look for this K-guard position from here. Is once I start to create this turn where I create my space, now my foot can come out from here. Now from here, this can easily turn into my scoop grip from here on this angle. My elbow goes inside the knee, and now from where here, we're in a good position to start working. So it's just from here when we're in a knee shield position, if I feel that getting to that far leg is going to be too difficult, getting my foot outside the hip, from here we're just going to first things first win this hand position here. This foot opens up the ability for this to come in here. We cross our feet and then we turn the angle. Now from here they try to pressure forward, our feet are crossed, we're nice and tight, my knees at the hip. We're going to pull this to me. Now this angle here is going to be a cue for me. Now I can unlock here, and just with my hands here, now from here when I see them starting to pressure forward, I bring my foot up towards the hip, and now we're in a good K-guard position from there. And this is just another way that we can enter into K-guard from there in the crab guard. The one important detail there, again, just the important thing from here is the angle. Is the angle that I need to force here. Is when I'm here. Here, this angle is not good enough, right? So I'm going to control this arm long enough to hunt for this ankle. Now you see when I create this turn, once I create this turn now I can unlock, switch my hands when they go to come back towards me. Now I'm in a good position from here to then start looking for my K-guard. Again, elbow inside my knee there. And now we can start to work off our attacks at that point. Now what we're going to get into is just some of the higher percentage defenses that I like. I'll go down. So from here, my opponent establishes a K guard. Now, from here, if they establish their K guard where the knee is not supported, okay, by the elbow, from here it's a very easy thing for me now to just throw those legs by. And you see how there's all this separation here? This can really give my opponent a problem. From here, being able to just throw these legs by from here, this is a serious issue for him. And then from there, it's just a matter of getting inside position, fighting for chest to chest from here. Some other grips that we can take. Yeah, this is simple, just throwing this by and then controlling these two legs. Sometimes even when you do this, from here, they're able to circle that leg free from there and then still throw the legs up. One of the specific grips that I'll take is I'll take an X grip from here, where I'm kind of Xing my arms from here, which will then help prevent them from being able to circle that foot in. So if I see that this isn't in the right place, where now this is very open here, one of the things I'll do is from here, I'll come here and here. So now if they try to reestablish that there, it's much more difficult from here for them to do that. Now from here, one of the things I will do always is I'll always look to shelf this leg now. And now from here, I kind of force more of a leg drag position so I can clear, and then I could very easily just force a leg drag position and then kind of shut down the K guard from there. So once we get to here, it's here and here, and now we're here. And now from here, I'm in a good position where I can come here. If they keep a scoop grip from there, that's really going to be an issue for them at that point. And now we can start looking to just shut down the K guard. That's one of the first options that I'll do there, is just hand fighting, passing that across. So you can see here, it's just here. Because what I got to prevent is when I just come here, sometimes they are able to still circle the thumb line and catch there, right? So from here, what I would rather do is at this point, I keep this hand here. So now when they try to circle that leg over the top, I can block that from circling over the top. This hand is able to push that leg by. So hips forward here and here. And now from here, I can start establishing like a good leg drag position where I have options of attacking the heel. If they let go from there of that scoop grip there, I have options of attacking a good passing position here. But we're just shutting down that K guard. And again, it all comes from the fact of that my opponent's really not doing a good job of keeping this elbow inside. So this is where I think whenever you take a K guard, this is really the reason why I like this. Because now, if I do come here like this, and even if I establish it, it's going to be very hard for me to establish a good leg drag from there. So you see from here, this knee line is always going to be very shallow from here. So even if I'm able to stop this from here, but now this knee line is very shallow, I can't establish a good leg drag. Now maybe I can't get this foot over, but at least now he can let go from here and he can establish a side guard. And now from here, he can start recovering from there. Okay, so it's very important that I just don't allow there to be a separation between my knee and my elbow here whenever I'm taking a scoop grip there. So that's why we're gonna make sure, again, that this knee and elbow is connected so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen where here, now this is a problem here, okay? So keeping that knee and elbow connected there so that even if I get this leg across from here, now he can just go right back to his side guard from here if he'd like. And now from here, he's in a good position to just start recovering instead of working from a leg drag position there. The main thing I want to show here is from the closed guard position is just showing how the proper way to stand up to prevent from getting caught in any K guard position from here. So the main thing that we want to do from here is always creating our posture from here. And now what I don't want to do is I don't want to stand up where I'm standing very wide and that knee can get inside. The important detail from here is making sure that when I stand kind of giving my leg on an angle so that now if they do try to dip that knee inside, I win the knee position. It's very important that we win that knee position from there. We're pinching And then from there, we can start looking to throw those legs by from there. So what's very important from there is I just cannot allow this knee to dip inside. So anytime we're in close guard here, if I want to stand, I kind of want to feed my leg and I want to keep that knee pinching. So you see I keep my elbow, my hip down, I'm pinching that leg. So now if he tries to bring his knee down to the floor, it's very hard for me to bring that knee down to the floor. So now from here, we're in a good position to start looking to start establishing those X grips again, okay? That's how we're really gonna be able to prevent that K guard position, is first winning that knee position. Now what we're gonna look at is just countering the K guard with this reverse belt. I find that this works really well, especially again, this is where the K guard fails, is I feel when there's all this disconnect here. Okay, so if I see there's a lot of disconnect here, one of the main things I'm gonna look to do from here is I'm gonna look to, from here, I'm gonna throw this arm right across the stomach here. Now, from here, turn this angle here. Look at where I'm throwing my arm in. From here, I could take a little bit more of this angle here. This hand can start posting here on this leg. The reason why I'm going to post this hand on this leg is to buy me that time as he tries to circle that leg over. It's going to stop him from being able to circle that leg over there. Now from here, because there's no connection here, it's a very easy thing for me to throw this arm across the stomach there. And then what I want to do is concentrate on reconnecting my knee and elbow here. And now from here, we can establish like a knee on sternum position. I can start establishing leg drag positions. I can start looking to establish side control. But the main thing there is that I'm exposing the fact that my opponent's knee and elbow are not connected, that allow me to throw my arm across the stomach there. And when I throw my arm across the stomach there, it really helps me with being able to secure that disconnect from there. And then I start to shut down the K guard. So one more time from here and here. And we're just gonna start throwing this arm, because there's all this disconnect and those hips are square there. I throw this arm right across. And now from there, that really helps to shut down the K guard from there. Counter the position. And now this will force reactions out of my opponent from here. Either to turn away, and I can start chasing the back, or they turn into me. If they turn into me, we're still looking to just start establishing passing position from there. But the main thing is that remembering that whenever I see that there's a disconnect here, I could always take advantage of that. That's a nice simple counter right there to K guard when they're not keeping the elbow inside the knee. What we're gonna get into is establishing from a north-south position. As my opponent goes to circle north-south, once I'm forced to my back, there's a couple ways that I will start establishing a K guard. Now, what we're gonna look at is just a very basic movement from here, where it's just from there I'm able to establish a good K guard position. But what I wanna do is I want to get a good, strong upper body control from here. So what we're gonna do is from here, my opponent circles north-south on me, right? From here, if I can, every time I can start to look to cross the center. Now from here, I'm in a good position to then always start looking for a good K guard. But what I want is, I want to get a good control of the arm. From here, what I'm going to do is reach inside. When I reach inside from here, this gives me a good strong grip. And now this foot can start to travel across. So now when my opponent goes to pull away from here, it gives me a good strong control. And now from here, with this strong control, look what we're going to do from here. Go to grab again. Ankles. What we're going to do is we're going to over wrap here, and I get this nice and tight. This foot can now travel, and now from here we're in a good strong position to then look for our K guard. This just helps me get a good strong upper body control from there. Kills that grip that's controlling my feet from there. And then my other foot is circling inside the thumb line to make its way across to that hip to establish K guard. So it's just from here, okay, always keeping everything in nice and tight. I'm going to over wrap here to kill this. This foot circles the thumb line. And now from here, now I can start looking to establish a good K guard. I want to keep this nice and tight here. Now from here, I'm in good position. we're here, and now I can start working from there to start attacking. This would just be the movement that I'll use. Anytime, specifically a little bit more distance, we'll get into when they get a little bit closer, just the positioning that I'm looking for from there to then recover from north-south when they're establishing a little bit more chest-to-chest position. But this is just going to be the grip that I'll use and the movement that I'll look for just when they're circling at that distance, keeping that distance, not really committing coming forward, but then just controlling the ankles from there. Now we're going to get into a little bit further into north-south position, my opponent getting to chest. What we're going to do is always making sure that anytime my opponent starts to work their way around north-south, what I don't want to do is be bringing my knees away from my chest and framing the lower body from here. What I want to always make sure that I'm doing is I'm always making sure I'm keeping a knee and elbow connection here and a knee inside the shoulder. So I want to start to curve my spine. Even if I just get one knee inside, that's fine. What helps me create that space is my elbow first, then knee. Now from here in this position is a good position for me to start looking to establish K-guard. From here, what we're going to do is I need to be able to get this foot across the center line. From here, we have our frames here, hands inside the armpit, knee inside the shoulder. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to start looking to pummel our second knee in, and I'm going to create space extending there. As I go to extend, my foot can then travel across. From here now, we can start to look to establish a K-guard with my knee inside the chest. From here, we can start to get my elbow inside the knee. And now from here, we're in a good position to start working back into K-guard. From here, again, getting one knee inside is very important from here. So I have this knee inside the shoulder. Turn this way. I have this knee inside the shoulder from here. Using this, I'm going to be able to then start creating space to pummel my second knee. Now from here, we're going to start to extend away to help with creating space to then pummel my foot in and across. My other hand is still controlling the lat from here. Once I get my scoop, I want to pull myself in to the point where, I don't want my elbow outside my knee. I want my elbow getting inside my knee from here. Now we're in a good position from here. I can start looking to create my off balances to establish my K-guard. Now, from here, a lot of the time it can be difficult, even when I get this position from here, to be able to, even when I get this in, to be able to get the foot across. So this is another position where we can start using a little bit of like a 1-2 type movement from here, where I'm very big on using this coil and then getting the reaction. From here, instead of pummeling to here and trying to get my foot across, from here, I could whip my foot over from here. When I get my foot over the top from here, I'm still keeping this knee and elbow inside from here, inside the shoulder. This foot comes over, and now from here, we're going to start to control the wrist. Now, again, from here, I'm going to start looking to get this scoop grip here. And again, I can get a finish from here by extending my leg, but I expect that arm to pull away. And then from there, that creates the space for me then to establish a good K-guard position. Now we're here, knee and elbow. They try to sprawl out of this position from here. I'm in a nice, strong control there. So one more time from here with the coil. From here, I feel that even when I get this, I'm having a hard time from there. There's pressure and heavy. From here, I'm going to whip my leg over, and we're going to catch. Wrist control, underhook, extend. They pull away. Foot comes across. Knee and elbow position from here. And now we have a good strong position to start attacking our K-guard there. Off recovering from north-south. Now, what we're going to get into is some sequences once we establish the K-guard position. What we're going to do first is we're going to look at if I'm not able to get to a point where I'm able to chop my leg over behind to force any backside positions. So what we're going to do is we're going to be looking to establish X guard, and then we're going to look at very basic and then a little bit more of an advanced sweeping option there. So first things first, from here, we established a K guard position, right? We're here, we're locked up. Now from here, what I want to do is I want to be able to establish a position where I can chop my leg over from here, and we can start forcing either backside or matrix hook options. But if from here my opponent is preventing that, and as well controlling my foot from here, it's going to make it hard for me to whip this leg over, but it's very easy for this leg to travel here. I'm going to lift my hips and I'm going to get myself into a good X guard position here. Now, from here, couple of basic options we have here. First things first, though, is I always want to be making sure that when I'm here in this X guard, okay, here initially, hand above the knee, my other foot is hooking, and now the way that I'm going to play my off balance is actually going to be where this foot is more of a push on the inside of the thigh rather than hooking all the way across or just staying here. Usually I keep this foot here if they try pressuring back forward here, just to help manage that distance and push them away. But when I really want to start to create that off balance, I push here so that I can create a good push. Now, from here, if I could force those hands to the floor, we have a good option of just creating a good push here at the knee from here. When I push, I start to elbow prop. And when I start to elbow prop, what I want to do is I want to start looking to come up. So from here, first option here is I force those hands down to the floor. We create a good push from here. And now from here, I'll keep this foot in because I know they're going to be trying to come up, pressure back into me. So I'll keep my right foot in as I come up. So once we're here, two legs create a push, and then I come here. Now I'm elbow propping as I come up. From here, now this foot can come to the floor. Now, from here, we can start either chasing that far leg, or from here, passing the legs by and looking to chase the back. If from here, same thing. If they don't drop to a knee and they just come back into me from here in this position, I can start looking to control that second leg. From there, as they pressure back, pull that leg to me. And now from here, holding above that knee, I'm going to lift my hips from here, keeping this push, lift my hips, and I'm going to sweep my opponent over to that side there. And now we can start coming up from here. We could keep the scoop grip and now start working on establishing top position. So from here, this is the first very basic sequence of two movements that I'll chain together. And these movements will help set up where when my opponent drops to a knee from there, we can start looking to set up the other option. So watch again one more time. Here and here first. We're here, and they're preventing me from getting any backside position. We're going to pummel this foot inside, get to an X guard. From here, what I want to do is I want to create this push, holding above the knee, push, bump, coming up, either chasing that far leg to establish top, or from here, coming all the way up, pulling that leg to me, and then from there, we're chasing the back. If I feel from there my opponent pressuring back into me, once I get them to here, go back. Here, force those hands to the floor. I create that push. I feel them coming back to me. I'm going to hook, and I'm going to pull that leg to me, pulling my knees to my chest. From here, now I'm going to sweep them over to the same side as the leg that I'm scooping from there, and then we're able to establish top position. Okay, now we're going to look at another option. Once we've gone K guard to X guard, we're going to look at another option for a sweep from here. I've seen a few people do this, but it's getting to a scorpion or a lockdown from X guard. I usually don't play a lockdown or a scorpion from half guard, but from the X guard position, I feel like it's strong. So first thing, we're still working from K guard, right? And I'm not able to establish a position where I can get backside. We're going to create the hook, and we're going to come to X guard here. Now we're still going to create our same off balance, forcing those hands to the floor. Now, once my opponent's knee comes to the floor from here, right, we're still going to try to create that push here. The reason why I'm still going to try to create that push with my bottom leg as well as my top leg is I need to create space for this leg to come out and wrap around. So the way we're going to do that is from here, I start to push here. I'm going to start propping and pushing, right? Now from here, when my opponent comes to pressure back to me, look what I'm going to do. As they come to pressure back, I'm going to wrap my leg around from here. And when I wrap my leg around, this foot is going to start to stomp on the ankle. This foot is going to go heel to the floor. And now when I bring my foot to the floor, right, my opponent's pressuring forward. They're trying to get their legs underneath them. They keep sliding the hips forward. Here, good. I'm bringing the heel to the floor, and I'm trapping that foot from there. Now, if they try to step up from here, I'm putting a lot of weight, okay? This foot could be stomping here, and I'm putting a lot of weight down outside the knee. So I bring my knee in line with my heel, and now I'm stomping and trapping that foot to the floor. Now, from here, we're in a good position where I can lace the laces through. And now, from here, we're in a good spot where now I'm in a lockdown here, or a scorpion hook, scoop scorpion. From here, I'm going to lock my hands above that knee. Now, in order for me to establish top position from here to get a good sweep, what we're going to do is we're going to extend the legs, not just straightening them, but we're going to extend the legs out this way. So what we're going to do is create a little bit of pressure on the hip from there, and that's what's going to help me to send them over from there. Now, from here, we can start looking to come up with the legs locked. Then we could pummel our legs free, and we could take top position from there. So this is our first option from there off of this scoop scorpion. And it's going to come off of, I am giving that threat of coming up from here, right? I'm looking for this. And then as I see them pressure back, this foot stomps the calf. This one comes down here, and I stomp behind, putting my heel to the floor. So now this really helps prevent them from popping up too soon. Now from here, my laces will lace through. I interlock my own laces. I'll lock my hands up, staying nice and tight from here. And now I'm not just going to extend the legs out. I'm going to extend the legs out on an angle here. And when I extend the legs out on the angle, what I'm really not doing is I'm not stretching them out. I'm more creating a little bit of a hip lock pressure there. So now from here, I can really start to use this to then come up. Sometimes we come up into like almost like an over-under position from here. And then we can knee pummel past the legs if we want. We could take a pass right away if they don't bring the knee inside. But my goal is to use this to fully control up to a sweep. Now, one of the issues we will run into from here is sometimes whenever we get this position, we have this, and I think this is a very important detail, is putting a lot of weight into the knee. We put the weight into the knee by digging my heel into the floor and bringing my knee over my heel. So now if they try to put weight up, it's harder for them to pop back up from there. Now, from here, a lot of the time in the transition from here, people pull up on the head and they'll start passing their leg across, and they start looking, come turn this way, they look for this underhook here. So what I got to make sure that I do is I win the underhook here and I lock up. We have this position here. Now from here, I can elevate their legs, and I can use that to then establish top position. So these are two options off of that. Once we've established a good K guard, we go to our X guard, and then these are, this is another option that I've been playing with when I can't just do more of a traditional push and come up or control the second leg and knock them down. This is another strong sweeping option where I have two legs controlled throughout the sweep, which is always ideal in order to really get on top of somebody. So watch again from here with both options. So we're here in the K guard position. I'm going to pummel to X guard here. From here, I get underneath, and now I force them to a knee. From here, I'm looking to come up from here. They drop to a knee. Now, by me putting this foot outside and propping up, I'm almost giving myself the space so that now when they go to pressure forward, I push that ankle, I get my heel to the floor, and now we're here. From here, we create the laces. Now, from here, again, the first option is I get my heel out inside the knee. I bring my knee over my heel. I lace through. I lock up. lock up my hands, and then I'm not going to stretch him out. I'm going to turn him. It's a very little movement of turning him, and then I could establish top. From here, once I get this, if he throws his leg over to the other side and starts hunting an underhook, I'm going to come here and here. I'm going to lock up, and I'm just going to elevate those feet, and I'm going to send him over to this side. And then from there, we're also able to establish top position. So this is a good option from there where I can establish top position with control of two legs, just starting from the X guard position once we establish K. So now what I want to look at here is I want to look at dealing with one of the counters that we covered, where my opponent is going to be driving their knee down the middle to pin my K-guard leg. And then when they're pinning my leg, it's going to help with preventing me from getting underneath. It's going to help me prevent getting the off balance that I need to effectively use my scoop on the leg and then start attacking from K-guard. So from here, what we're going to look at is attacking that leg. So from here, we're here and here, right? I want to control my opponent's posture. And now they drive that knee down the middle from here. They're keeping this leg away from me. But now they're giving me a good opportunity from here now. What opportunity are they giving me here? They're giving me this opportunity now where I can start looking to attack this leg. One of the options that we have from here is we can go into a nice false reap from here. I think the false reap and K-guard chains very well together because a common reaction that we get is this knee coming down the middle to pin this leg. So from here, also what's going to happen, a lot of people are going to give us that angle that we need to create a false reap. I feel like the angle for a false reap that I need my opponent's body to be in is very similar to the angle we need to create a reap in leg entanglements, where they're exposing this angle turning, right? So they're keeping this leg away from me. Yeah. Now from here, what we want to focus on is getting my opponent's weight coming forward slightly. From here, I'm going to first start off with shooting this hand through. Until this foot makes its way through from here, I'm going to start off right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then start looking to pummel my toes inside the hip from here. Now from here, before this leg fully commits to going inside, I really want to focus on getting this arm through. Now from here, I could go shallow with my grip initially. And now from here, this foot can go to create a push right here. From here, now what this is going to do is it's going to keep my opponent from being able to crowd right away, right? If we come here and they start crowding right away, this could be a problem, right? So I'll focus on this foot creating a post. So now when they try to come crowd me here, it's just creating an initial post from here. Now from here, this foot, once this arm is behind, now this foot is safe to travel across. What I don't want to do is I don't want to travel this foot across too soon from here. This is a problem because I have no control of what's going on this side. So now from here, if my opponent just drops those hips and sprawls from here, I'm going to get past. So I have to make sure that I always have some form of control of my opponent's ability to circle around to my backside. So from here, this arm could be here, which is just taking up that space. This is the position we want to get into here, right here. Now from here, we're creating enough space here for my foot to travel. Before this foot comes across, we're going to look to get a grip from here. I can just go palm my hand over the palm here at my pinky tendon from here. Or from here, I can 10-finger grip from here. A lot of the time I just like getting this grip here because I can just pull my arm deep. As I shoot my leg through, I'm going to pull my arm deep. What's important with this false reap is getting my shoulder in line with my knee from here. And now from here, we're in a good position from here. Hooking that far leg from there. We can keep our hands locked up. We can go into a figure four from here. I could grab my own shin from here while creating that active hook. And now from here, it's just about how I'm going to sit my opponent down. From here, if I feel my opponent's weight is a little bit more forward, that's when we can start looking to invert through or come out. From here, they're seated back a little bit more. This is a position where now I can start to look to sit them down by just reverse shrimping from here. A lot of the times when you go to reverse shrimp, what will happen is people will then pummel the foot in. This is just getting into more false reap stuff from here. Then we have counters for dealing with this. But the main thing is here, just for this basic false reap, 2 directions is either going to be inverting if their weight's more forward, if their weight's more seated back like this, reverse shrimping, sitting them down from here, always looking for second leg control once they sit them down. But the main thing here is just using the K guard from there to expose the false reap. It's going to give me that near leg from there, okay? So let's watch that one more time. So we're here and here, right? Check this way. Right. There you go. Now, from here, we're here and here, right? I'm in a good position. They get here, they're keeping that leg away from me. From here, I want to create a little bit of off balance from here, just to get that weight coming up a little bit. So I could use my foot from here. With the head, I'm moving them around. I shoot this arm in, and I get this foot to here. Now, from here, I want to start looking for this foot to be posted inside the hip. This arm can come through. Now, the reason why I'm not gonna put my foot again all the way through before this arm comes through is because if I go here and here and then I try to look for this, I gotta make sure that this foot is always gonna be here until this arm comes through. Because worst case, if I do feel my opponent starting to try to circle, this foot can always make its way right out right away, okay? But if I feel them starting to smash my knees together, from here, this foot can always make its way back to the outside of that hip there. I have to make sure that this is always here, here, here. Now I can start looking to pull this through as we come here, keeping my shoulder inside of my knee. I'm nice and tight from here. So now if they try to squish me, I'm nice and strong. From here, either we're gonna look to invert through, pushing off my bottom leg, or we're gonna reverse shrimp if their weight's more back to sit them down from there. Okay, so this is just how we're gonna use K-guard from there to help with exposing a false reap on that closer leg. From here, what we need to do is just address when my opponent is standing, right? They're very mobile and they have a lot of athletic ability to run away, right? Especially if we're slippery. So we need to make sure that when we're standing and we're attacking a K-guard, that if my opponent does try to run, that we're staying sticky. So how are we going to stay sticky from here is when we are here and we're in a K-guard from here, elbow inside, holding above the knee. From here, when I get to here, right, and I see that my opponent is starting to turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure from here, I'm still trying my best to maintain knee and elbow connection, but the main thing from here now is going to be maintaining being sticky here, right? So from here, as my opponent goes to run, I need to make sure that I get a good control of my opponent's leg. What I want to make sure that is that I'm bringing that leg up onto my shoulder now. From here, my elbow can come outside my knee because I see them running, right? From here, I want to get a good grip right behind the Achilles. I want to bring their laces inside my ankle. I want to pinch, and I want to start to look to lock up that leg from here. From here, I'll think of it like a rear naked choke grip from here. Now, from here, as they go to run away, I'm very sticky from here. Now, once I'm sticky, I might lose connection with my lower body from here, but I need to reconnect with the lower body. So from here, as we reconnect with the lower body, they go to run away from me here, right? We're here, I'm pinching my ear nice and tight from here. We have a good sticky connection from here. As they go to run away from here, they're exposing their back to me, exposing the backside. From here, we're nice and sticky. We're here, I'm really pinching down. From here, my bottom leg can become a push off the floor, and I could start thinking about recollecting that leg by making sure that I hip heist over that leg. So now, no matter what, whether we spin through from here, or from here we stay in backside position, the important thing is to regain my connection. Now, once I regain my connection from here, I also want to focus on getting this foot hooking that far hip from here. So now when they really try to run away from me from here, I'm very sticky. Okay, the main thing, one of the main issues that we'll run into when somebody is standing and I'm attacking K-guard is that I can lose that leg from there. If they just disengage and run away, which could be very common, it's very hard to control. So I need to make sure that I'm maintaining as many points of connection and making sure that I'm staying as sticky as possible, using my hand from there, creating a good rear naked choke type grip, creating a good pinch. So now as they try to dart out of there, we're staying sticky long enough. And then from there, I'm focusing on trying to also, when I heist my hips over my opponent's leg, I'm also trying to make sure that I'm forcing their knee down to the floor. So watch again one more time from here, right? I'm here and here, right? We have our initial movement. I start to see them turn. We're here and here. From here, I get my good grip. I get that, my ear. I aim to try to bring my ear here, right? So now I'm keeping that good control. He tries to run away from me there. I'm sticky, right? From here, now I want to break their knee down to the floor because the shorter that leg is, the more ability they have to run away from me, right? So the more they can run away, that's a problem. Turn this way a little bit. From here, when we're nice and sticky here, right? We're here, I'm nice and sticky, I'm getting here. I'm trying to bring my whole body over this leg, okay? So from here, I'm gonna heist off of my right leg from here. I'm gonna shoot my hips up, and when I do, I think about getting my weight down. You see how now I'm chopping down with this leg, and I wanna force this knee down to the floor. The more I can ground my opponent from here, the better I am in a position from here. And I could also just use this just to spin through from here. When I spin through, we can look for better controls on the leg. Outside ashi, I can look for 50-50 to tie my opponent up. But the main thing from there is just remaining as much control at the very end of their leg and then looking to climb the leg from there. Remaining control at the end and then start climbing, getting that control, that far hip when I weave my foot through, and heisting my hips up from there is going to help me with either rolling through to get better connection or just forcing their knee down to the floor, which will keep a lot of weight on that leg. More weight and more control and connection I have with their lower body, the easier it's going to be for me to be able to prevent them from running, especially when we get slippery. Now, what we're going to look at is my opponent is going to be sprawling away from me. The leg that I'm trying to attack from there in K-guard position. Now, this movement is a similar entry that I hit at the last 80cc trials that I did. Where I set this movement up was from more of a north-south position, countering my opponent's sprawl. But this is also accessible too when my opponent is sprawling away when I'm attacking the K-guard. Because again, my opponent's going to be exposing their other leg by protecting the leg that I'm trying to establish a K-guard on from the knees. So they're sprawling that leg away from me, and I'm unable to get to a scoop grip there. But from here, they're giving me, they're giving me a good opportunity now for me to attack this leg. So, turn this way a bit. From here, okay, my opponent's giving me, I'm looking for this here, right? I'm looking for this leg. Now, from here, while I'm looking for this leg, they're sprawling this leg away, and they're giving me this reaction where now this leg is nice and close. So from here, I can look to pummel this leg. So it's very important, again, this leg is going to look to pummel across to the outside hip. Reason being, again, because this leg is going to cross the center line here, I need to have this scissoring position to help me with maintaining my guard, okay? I don't want to just take this leg and throw it through from here and then start looking for this from here, because now I'm very exposed from here. So I got to make sure that as they're sprawling that leg away, we're here, right? From here, I want to be creating frames, collar ties, whatever it is. Getting this leg outside here is very, very important. All I'm doing is I'm pummeling this leg from here. They're sprawling. It's going to give me that space to get my leg across, and this is just going to maintain my opponent's movement this direction, right? Now, from here, what I'm going to look for is just this shallow grip with my hand inside that knee. from here. Now, this foot can travel across, and now from here, I can look to shoot my right knee through, and now we're looking for seated Connie positions. Keeping my right elbow nice and tight inside from here allows me now that I can look for false reap type grips from here, and I can look from here, just posture. I can look for false reap type grips as well as second leg control from here. So now I can look for getting my hand behind as well as second leg. Or from here, it's very important. From here, we're in a smash saddle or a smash cross ashi position, okay, off the seated Connie. Ideally, I want a means of second leg control always. Where I can get in trouble here is if I don't have second leg control. So now when I have second leg control, it makes it easier when I lock up a triangle from here off this. It makes it very easy for me to open my knee and sit my opponent down. If I don't get that, from there my opponent goes to back step over, which is similar to what I've had my opponent do before. It gives me an opportunity now that I can just follow them through from there. And then from here, we're just looking to attack from the cross ashi position. Here, if we feel like we don't have good position here, always looking for second leg control is ideal. But here, this is just a good option off of my opponent's sprawl when they're keeping that leg away and I can't get to a scoop. We just attack the near leg. So, watch again. We're here in this position, okay? I'm looking for my scoop here. My opponent's giving me this reaction here. They're trying to sprawl away from me from here. So from here, this is going to give me this space now for this foot to make its way outside of here. We have good frames from here. This hand now, okay, is going to look to grab inside this knee, just a shallow grip. This foot can start to travel across. From here, when we get to here, right, now I can go into this position where we're doing this scissor-like motion, and I'm going to be looking for my Connie position here. Now from here, when I come through again, I can go false reap from here, and I can use that, making sure that I can lock my hands from here. I can figure four from here. Or from here, if I feel my opponent come forward on me, very important that I get second leg control here. Okay, so we can, from this position here, we can look to finish this like a false reap, inverting through from there. Okay, or from here, I could finish this with a triangle. Okay, so I'm going to lock my legs up from here, and I can look to sit my opponent down. In order to sit them down from here, I lock my triangle. It's very important. I get my elbow inside my knee. I open my knee, and now from this smash cross ashi position, where you're going to be in a better position to be able to send them over this hip from here, locking a nice tight triangle behind the knee. We're going to send them over this hip, locking up here, pulling this leg across. Or from here, if we just get this, and I see my opponent goes to try to backstep for some reason from here, which is a reaction you will get. From here, it's just following them through. And now turn this way. As we follow them through, now we're right here in cross ashi. From here, if I can, I look for the heel here. I look for second leg control here. And now we're in a good position to just keep working through our attack from there. So this is good if they're sprawling from there, a good seated Connie option from there will help open things up. So here's the roll with me and Jeff. Just getting started, working to make grips on the hands, use a cross grip to enter into a delahiva. And then I'm using the delahiva just to create off balance. I just want to break Jeff down to a knee and then look for a K-guard. Once we get the K-guard, throwing over, Jeff inverts through, spins through. When he spins through, still trying to climb that leg. I think I lose it here, but I threaten coming up. Yeah, good opportunity to get a sweep there. All right. And then we just ended up resetting. I think for this round, we were just doing one person on bottom the whole time. From here, Jeff's trying to create a flank. I pummel to the inside. And I just keep looking to get like a reverse guard type connection just to get to my K-guard. And I'm starting to use like a mantis. And I just want to get to a K-guard. One thing that I've been doing a lot is when I get the K-guard, really taking like more of a angle where my hips are parallel with my opponent's hips to make it harder for them to stack me or anything. I just keep using the entries to get on top and wrestle up from there. Yeah, definitely for this round we were just doing one person on bottom, one person on top the whole 3 minutes I think it was. From here, still same thing. I just keep connecting with like deli heaver or reverse guard. Then I use a cross grip to reinforce, and then I'm just focusing on trying to break Jeff down from here so that I can get K guard positions or opportunities to get to K guard. From there, just right to like a shadow X, inverting through like a waiter's guard position from here from outside Ashi, and then trying to use that to switch between the shadow X and waiter's guard position, and that can help me get to a Yoki lock, and right there use that to get to K, and then K to outside Ashi. One of the things I like to do a lot is if I get K guard, throwing right to outside Ashi as opposed to throwing to backside 50-50. I'd rather be an outside Ashi than backside 50-50. Then I just kept going to this waiter's like guard position because then I could keep switching the legs and just keep switching sides from outside Ashi on one side to the other. Here, same thing again, I think. Taking that scoop grip from there from outside Ashi on the far leg allows me to switch legs pretty easily. And then keep looking for that Yoki from there. Jeff does a good job turning his knee to keep me from exposing the heel. Throw a reaping, and the reaping outside heel looks going to be hard on somebody good, so using a calf slicer instead when they turn off the reap is a good option. From here, still same thing. Now Jeff's sitting low from here, so it's going to be harder to get a good K-guard entry if they're sitting low from here, so I need to create some space. I like to use a lot of throat posts and frames, and if I can, I try to pummel inside in situations like this. I try to pummel my outside leg in. I'd rather have two legs inside because I have to avoid, from here if you see, I have to try to avoid the underhook. I think that was the end of the round. Okay, starting here. I think this was a 50-50 round. Or it might have just ended up in 50-50. Separating, getting my leg free. And now we're here. So, from here, I want to try to negate Jeff's hooks. He has a very good De La Riva guard. I'm trying to make sure that I control the feet. I honestly should have been controlling the laces of his feet as opposed to controlling his ankles. That's my fault. From here, I'm aiming to try to knee cut, looking for a little hip switch. I really just want to get to the outside to avoid De La Riva hooks from here and avoid Jeff from getting to like a K-guard position. So making sure that I keep a good control on that top inside leg. Jeff's doing a good job. Hand fighting here. And then from here, things to notice in these positions is whenever we're here, clearing hooks is important, but also with my right hand, making sure that I'm stripping grips. Anytime somebody takes a De La Riva from here, especially like the way Jeff's taking like a reinforced De La Riva, kind of crossing his feet like a reverse guard, fighting the hands is never a bad idea. So making sure that you strip those grips, and then from there, I could threaten to take an underhook. Jeff's doing a good job keeping his knees pinched, so I know I'm not going to be able to get that, but just addressing that there, and then Jeff gets into a good K-guard exchange, looks for outside Ashi. I shorten my leg, and then get back into good position from there to start attacking. Trying to see if you notice right here, I was using this foot to push my knee line free, and then this hand to try to maintain as much of his knee line as possible. So if we go back a little bit to right as Jeff enters into a outside Ashi position, a little bit further back from here, that right foot is almost pushing like a pushing De La Riva hook, but on the far inside thigh. Doing that to kind of like clear my knee line. So here. So right here, you can't really see it. But right here, as Jeff's trying to climb my leg, I push on his far leg, the inside, and I'm able to start clearing my knee line, and then I want to try to control his knee line as best as possible. Ankle lock control and a grip under his knee, trying to control two legs, and then use that to get back on top. And then right back to the outside. I want to try to stay on the outside as much as possible. And if I step in the middle, still controlling that top leg, Not overcommitting my weight forward just so that I can avoid an inversion is going to be important from here. And making sure you see with my left hand, I'm posting on the front of his knee to make sure that I am, yeah, well,
That's all right. You can just pause.
yeah, I'll go back a little bit. So,
It's okay.
yeah, so go back.
Yeah, I don't know. Um.
I'll go back to right here.
Okay. Yeah, you just.
Yeah, I'll start from here and making sure that my left hand is posted on the front of the knee because I know he wants to try to pull his leg out to try to get to this K guard hook, especially if he's looking for that arm drag grip from there. Just want to prevent this reverse Elahiva hook from turning into a K guard hook on my far leg. And I post from here, I like to either take a scoop grip on this top leg or if my arm is over, if you notice, if I go back a little bit from here, if you notice, let me go back a little. You see where my left hand is, but my right hand is posted inside that knee so that he can't really kick it through or anything like that. From here, again, stepping in. Jeff's looking for Delahiva, and I'm going to reach down and try to strip that grip. When I reach down and strip the grip, I strip the grip on the inside of the wrist, not the outside of the wrist. I try to, or I threaten getting an underhook and then use that to threaten the knee cut. I know it's going to be hard to get the knee cut, but I just want to get into this position to avoid his Delahiva guard. I just want to really avoid the Delahiva from here. Still here. Taking like a tripoded position when I'm here in the knee cut. Collar tie mixed with a baby grip here. So I'm pulling up on the head, blocking the inversion. Get my foot to the outside. And then from here, once I get to that flank, I'm still looking for that leg drag position. From here, pinning that bottom leg down, controlling above the knee here, and I'm really looking to try to secure a good leg drag position from here. Jeff does a good job recovering. I try to switch sides. Now we're here. Getting north-south. And now from here, the fight's going to be creating separation knee to chest. Jeff does a good job recovering from there. Here and here, good. A lot of time spent on top this round. Just negating his K guard, really. Like, this is a good round just to see. This first part is just pretty much trying to go for K guard a lot, and I'm just trying to avoid that by controlling that inside leg when I get to the outside. Let's see if I find in some of this roll where I'm on bottom a little bit. And right here. Now we're back in 50-50. Pretty sure we start the round in 50-50, so I'm pretty sure it's a 50-50 round, so. Here, I switch from 50-50 to outside Ashi. I'd rather be there if he's standing. And still doing that same movement where in outside Ashi, I pummel my outside knee in. And then if they step that leg back, it gives me a good K-guard entry. And I use that to just attack outside Ashi on the far leg. So let's go back real quick and we'll look at that again. So we're here. Outside Ashi, right? I create space with my right foot. Get my knee in. I'm on almost like a waiter's guard position with a scoop grip here. Now from here, I don't expect to keep this. So from here, when he clears that, my foot's on the hip, and then I have a good option for K-guard on the far leg. I threaten backside, but I can just switch legs if I need to from there. But now I'm in a better position from outside Ashi where my opponent's on their butt. And I just try to climb that leg. I kind of lose the leg from there. And then right back to a position where now I can start looking for K-guard again. Looking for almost like a reverse guard. And then lock up that high crab guard. That high K guard above the knee. That'll help expose me being able to get to a scoop grip from here. But Jeff does a good job avoiding that. Pummeling back to outside Ashi here. Now, I think I'm going to switch off to that waiter's guard entry to K guard on the far leg again. at some point. Gotta make sure, keep my feet crossed in outside ashi, locking up full figure 4. And again, I'm gonna look for that. This time I put the foot in to create space. I get my knee in and take that scoop grip. This time, yep, just switch outside ashi on the other leg. Yep. And just really keeping Jeff in outside ashi. Anytime I do any kind of scoop grip entry off like a K guard, that's always a good option. So, another roll here. Looking for connection. Reverse de la Hiva. And then I think I'm going to try looking for... Here, skip to this. Yeah, I get connection here. And let's go back. Let's look at using this bicep lasso from here. If you see I'm reaching through, I use this bicep lasso to get me to my scoop grip. Then my foot makes its way across, and now we have K-guard. Good look at that one again. This is a good way that off of somebody using outside movement that I like to get connection from here. So if you notice from here, right, I pummel inside, right? Danny's got a hand on my hip. I reach through and I use that bicep lasso from there. And that just gets me good connection. Now from here, my left hand's going to reach for a scoop grip there. Boom. And now my left foot, as I start to invert, can create space, make its way through. And now we have K-guard there. So using that no-gi bicep lasso is a good way just when people are moving around on the outside to maintain connection. And then I usually look for a scoop grip on that far leg if I can. Going back to like an outside ashi. Danny passes across. He kind of gives me the high ground, so I threaten the leg, but then he gets to a knee, and now I'm going back to K-guard on the far leg again. So just keep switching sides with scoop grips. If I can switch sides, it's pretty easy to switch sides with scoop grips and look for K-guard entries on either leg, especially when you're attacking from like outside ashi or like from an X-guard position. Yeah, in outside ashi. Again, let's see from here, this switch. I think it's another similar switch. Take a scoop grip and then spin the leg on the far side, and we have K-guard again here. This time I pass it across, and I try to, I think I'm going to look for, so let's go back real quick. I pass this across initially off the K-guard. I think I wanted to try to go for the back take first from here. I think from here, when I get to here, I pass that across. Initially, I wanted to look for the back, but I don't think I had the right angle to get the back. So then I started looking for this lockdown from here in this position. I like going for like this lockdown or like for a Y guard position there. And you could enter like reverse X or just start chasing the back again from there. And then looking for crab guard hooks. But there. And right to the back. And here we end up on the back. Let's fast forward this one a little bit. Let's move on from here. See, from here, still making those like reverse guard connections. I like using that cross grip to get a scoop grip to get to K guard. Danny's doing a good job clearing those hooks. And then I get my scoop grip, reinforce grab my shin. And once I get my knee inside from here, I'm in a good spot. I just throw my leg over. I start looking for my K guard. Danny backsteps, rolls through. Second that happens, I always look for outside ashi. I make sure that I secure outside ashi from here. Puts me in a better position. Danny's trying to pressure his knee forward before I get an ankle lock grip, so I put my feet configuration where my outside leg pushes on the hip, so that prevents him from being able to really pressure that knee down. And once I relieve that pressure, I'm going to switch my legs back up. Yeah, make sure you can't separate my feet. Perfect. Again, doing that same, whenever somebody's really close, doing that same scoop grip from there. Now I'm in like more of a true waiter's guard position, and I think I can look to chase the back from this position here a little bit easier. Yeah, I could look to chase the back easier from this position. Get that hook, and I'm using like a little one-on-one from here to keep Danny from turning away. I reinforce that, and now I have the back. So that's another little transition to the back from there. Let's see. That was like almost like a K guard type entry from north south. Now I think about here is where the round ends. Yeah, think about there's where the round ended. Alright, so another roll, starting in reverse Delahiva. My opponent's trying to look for like a sprawl pass. I think I just entered into a seated Connie off that. Here. Chasing the heel, chasing the heel. Forces 50-50. And right here is just an outside Ashi separation right away. I end up in outside Ashi, right away separating feet, ending up in neutral Ashi. And then from here, it's a battle of who's going to get high ground, really. And let's see. Zane passes that back across the outside, forces him away himself into outside Ashi, which again, I'm pretty okay with. From here, looking to go belly down. I think I finished this Aoki using my knee to keep that knee externally rotated so that I can put that heel inside the chest. Yeah. Again, one of those situations where I'm kind of stuck from here. I just don't want him to get this leg free. So from here, as long as he doesn't get that leg free, I'm kind of going to pull up on it and push it against my own shin from there. That allows me to get to the outside. Then from here, Zane has a K-guard hook. He didn't take the K-guard. Knee pinching from here just to keep this inside leg trapped. This time he takes the K guard. Let's see which defenses. Yep, I use that reverse belt. He bails, and then I start using an outside scoop grip from here to get my flank angle and work to chase the back once he starts to turn the turtle. So if we go back a little bit, just looking at the K defense. From here, he has a K guard, right? Here. Now, from here, I'm going to control that outside leg. From here, I'm going to shoot my right hand like I'm threatening to get it across the hip. When he bails, I just take an outside scoop grip there. So if he would have took the bait on the K guard, I would just threw my right hand, all the way across the hip, like a belt across his hip. He starts to turn. I'm starting to look to chase the back. He works his way back to guard. Now from here, another K guard defense. Foot outside the hip. And now from here, I drop my knee, and now that keeps him from being able to use that, and then I pass that foot across to the outside. When I pass it across, I grab the toes. So if you see here, right? Let me go back a little bit. Look here. You see I grab the toes from there? If I try to grab his ankle, I drop the knee to pin the leg. Now look, I grab the toes with a thumb up grip. If I try to grab his ankle, it's going to be hard to get his foot across. But when I grab the toes, it makes it much easier. And then if I want to create that angle like I tried to there, it's easier if I create the toes because I could really direct that foot side to side. Here again, knee-cup position. Looking for the outside. looking for a stack here at the end, and that was the end of that round. A lot more K-guard defense in that round. Okay. Another roll with Derwin. Make connection. Stand on a weird angle, so it's kind of hard to really get a good connection. Switch it sides. Good. And there's my K-guard. Again, I really like to use those shallow hooks to create back exposure and stuff. And just use that as a sweep there. Get on top. Derwin's got pretty good movement, so it's definitely, if I get a good position like this so early on, he's not tired yet, so kind of sitting on him a little heavy. I'm just trying to keep my weight on him before I really start to chase the back. Making sure that when I chase the back, I always throw my foot all the way across the hip, and then I take the bottom hook out. So if I don't have my hook on the bottom side, I always throw my hook all the way across the hip. I never put it as like a hook between the legs, because then I'll lose the back. Let's fast forward through the back sequence. I think, let's get to here, yeah. From here, I always like to win the hand fight and then make connection with my feet. From here, ankle lock grips, boot, turn the shin towards the ribs, look to fight the hands. Darren kind of has like almost like a bear trap position by me going for like a deli heave hook, but then I use that cross knee pull, get my K-guard position, and then I start working. I like to take this angle a lot of the time because it's a little bit better for me. Yeah, once I get my knee inside, then we have a good opportunity. And again, I use that shallow K-guard hook, like that matrix hook from there. I like using that a lot, just to stay connected, and then I could always reclimb the leg after the fact. Outside Ashi here. And then I'm for sure going to look for come on top, spinning the leg. Just in these positions, just don't let go of the ankle lock grip. If you let go of the ankle lock grip, you're going to get it back taken. I'm still looking to get like a little bit of a threat in Aoki from there. But he's doing a good job keeping his feet crossed. I hate people with long legs. It's very difficult to make a lot of outside Ashi positions work, but I think I still got the outside heel hook here. Once I got this foot switched over, I was able to internally rotate the knee, get the outside heel hook there. Let's see again. Back to outside. Here he goes north-south, and I get my connection right to K-guard. Now I got to start to bring this left leg more out this way. Once I get that angle where my hips are lined up with my opponent's hips, then I can start attacking. From here, as he backstep, kind of put himself in like a waiter's guard position. And I could use that to threaten the sweep, or throw the outside Ashi on this leg, or I could even come up, take the sweep, get to a leg drag there. And I think that was the end of the round from there. Yep, that was the end of the round from there.